Hi everyone, it's Justin here, Voices for Voices. Thank you so much for watching or listening. Thank you for whether you are here in the United States or across the world. We are very grateful to have you with us. If this is your first show or if you've been with us from the beginning, we've now turned the corner um, with 490 plus episodes. We'll be hitting 500 here before the halfway point of the calendar year 2026. And it's all because of you, your demand, the content. We talk about easy topics, we talk about hard topics. For those watching or listening, if you can give us thumbs up, like, follow, subscribe, share, repost, we greatly appreciate that. That's free to do. So if you could do that, that'd be awesome. We do have a huge goal we want to reach and help 3 billion people over the course of my lifetime and beyond. And the only way that can work is with your uh, interest in the show and in the content with the guests that we have on, and we're just greatly blessed to have the guests that we do. Uh, Also, follow us on social media, where you'll see the most. You'll see my dog here trying to get her photo op. Her name's Lucy. So if you see her, that's kind of what she's up to, just hanging around, seeing what Dad's up to. Uh, but if you're able to follow us, usually Instagram, Facebook, we are getting our TikTok back. We through uh, through some unasked ways have had it taken down, and we know exactly who has done that. So we've had to kind of reset on that. Uh, and last but not least, if you're able to, it's all up to you. Maybe reach out to 25 people and contacts in your phone. Let them know about Voices for Voices and Voices for Voices TV show and podcast. We are founded uh, on my uh, mental illnesses, mental challenges. We all have things going on, and that's how this organization was founded through a recommendation of one of my first therapists out of the hospital. And so we're founded kind of the pillars or mental health, uh, trauma, recovery. Uh, but last but not least, keeping it simple, which is what our guest will do, and he does it so well, is just keeping things simple and helping people. There's people that we know that we're reaching, and then there's people we don't know that we're reaching. So that's why we try to bring as much content to you as possible. So we're going to shift from me speaking to our guest. We are, and I do mean this sincerely, we're so grateful to have our guest with us when we talk about people who want to help people and are doing that. We know there's a difference between people who say they're doing it and want to do it, and then people that actually are doing it and are continuing to do it. This individual is helping, has helped, and is continuing to help. Uh, he is a awesome individual. The more we chat, it's the conversation's just amazing. So one of the ventures that we're going to talk about today is titled Bedding That Cares. And what that really stands for is the future in medicine is not practicing medicine, but knowing medicine. And so in 2004, our guest, Rich Cordero, founded Bedding That Cares. Rich, so thank you so much for joining us on the show today.
Justin, it is a pleasure.
Absolutely. So you, from what I've gathered in our short time knowing each other, and as that continues to grow, is you're you're constantly wanting to help people. Uh, can you just talk about like where that came from, and then we'll get into bedding the cares and all the great things of why people and why the medical community and everybody across the world really should take a look at this product.
Thank you. Well, the first thing I want to say is I want to say I'm very glad to be among all your listeners that are doing the same thing I'm doing, breathing. And when you breathe and you focus that breath on the throat, and out comes something you might be thinking of, it's called your voice. So we all share in voice. But most of the time, we talk about how delicious the hamburger is and how I couldn't sleep last night, or what my car just did, or my boss had the gall to say this to me, or life is a biatch. Well, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about how powerful our voice can be. How could that be? Well, if you're lucky enough to have somebody listen to you, and I imagine there's guns pointed to every head in this audience right now, the thought is this: we all have one thing in common. We have a great day. We might have a bitch of a day, but we always close our eyes, lay on our comfortable pillow, and crawl in and do whatever we do and fall asleep. And in those hours, the body takes over and says, well, we got to repair this person. We got to do this. We got to do that. So in the morning, when he wants his leg to work, it'll work. And his hand to work, it'll work. And his mouth to work, hopefully not too much. But anyway, so here we are with this incredible power. And what we're doing with voices to voices is challenging every breather on earth to make a difference. How hard is it to make a difference? Well, you see a little child walking towards a busy street and you say, stop, stop, don't go. And you reach out, and for a second, a stranger to a stranger alerts a small human being to step back and stay safe and have a full life, hopefully, ahead of them. One of the things humans do is we choose who we listen to, who we talk with, and who we concentrate hate on. I can't help it. It's a very fun thing to do. You love to think about the person you hate and you see them eating a stale piece of toast or whatever. Yes, let it happen. And we get all charged up when you have a better day. But what if we talk about something that's so helpless that even us looking at them makes us sad? And anybody that takes care of that person, we go, thank you. We don't know what they did, but we still say, thank you. You're so kind. Well, what is it, the kindness that they're doing? Well, they're taking somebody standing on one foot and saying, relax. Just concentrate on being part of the foot. Bullshit. You can't do that. You have to say, okay, would you like a better stance? How about 2 feet? Or how about laying down? And you say, okay, and you fluff up the pillow and you adjust the covers and you adjust the lighting just so much. And hell, if they're lucky enough, you put on some uh, guitaro, sitaro, or whatever that name is, and they play this soft music that makes you feel like, ooh, I'm floating. But if not case, and let's talk about maybe 600 million people that don't have that orchestra waiting to make them feel good, you still have one thing in common. You have a bed. Now, what is that bed? Well, it's a bed that nobody gives a shit about. They give you a clean sheet or not. They give you a sheet that's shared by 400 people in a hospital, laundered every 4 hours in a community hospital laundry, and then says, bed change. And all of a sudden, you've got a new sheet that you don't know who was there before you, and your mouth is touching it, going, oh, I need a glass of water. Well, guess what? You just got a new neighbor. Well, I'd like to be your neighbor. I'd like to be your neighbor, and here's why. I'm going to tell you how to take care of the fragile, including yourself, because chances are, if you were born, you're going to die. And before you die, unless it's a sudden gunshot or a car that runs you over, you're going to lay there going, I'm dying. So if that happens, you want somebody that knows what the hell they're doing, and please don't practice on me. Don't get a visit from the doctor that says, I'm going to write you a prescription and please email me how you're taking it after 6 days. Do you go into convulsions? Do you get better? What the story is? Because the doctor doesn't know. He knows it's worked in the past, but he doesn't know if it works for you. It's almost like that hot dog you eat. You think it's going to be good, but it might be the revenge of the century. You don't know. So let's get to a worldwide affliction that imposes on every human being that's taking a breath to make a voice. And let's use that voice to say, wake up, everybody. Everybody tries to make money off of my happiness or my illness. And I don't want that to happen anymore. I want to know the Bible of health that says if you take a glass of water, it's going to take roughly 13 seconds to hit the stomach, pass through the stomach, and go to the kidney, and blah, blah, blah. And if I want to watch it, I can watch it happen. If everybody had that ability, we would probably not drink Gatorade. But that's another story. The main thing is we have the power of knowing. How does that happen? How can we get the world population to know about ourselves? We take the common denominator called the mattress, the bale of hay, the thing that sits by the dog. It doesn't matter. The picnic table, the park bench, anywhere. And you make that universal. How? With a simple formula called Bedding That Cares, which is nothing more than two sheets of plastic, 9 feet by 54 inches, one for the top, one for the bottom, and then you can pile anything on it you want, including dirty laundry. If that's what you're into. But the main thing is it isolates the ground that you don't have control of and you that you now have control of. Because now you can control who sleeps with you, who eats your knuckles, who gets in between your toes, who loves to do all this other stuff. I see on my screen voices and voices has started screen sharing. Is that okay? No. I'm coming back, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so I lost my voice. Here's a good example of what happens. But anyway, where was I? Oh, yes. What we can do is we can create something that you can buy in any country, any village, and I think there's 256 different little areas where we call home in general. And I want to talk about 256 later, but let's just talk about you and your bed. Okay, if I can control how clean your bed is all the time, and you always sleep in a bed that's never been shared by any other human being, unless you choose to, and it's yours. And all the family that lives on this food source called your body gets to meet the other person's food source that they call their body. And whether it's good for you or bad for you, you don't know. All you think about was, yum, let's do this. Anyway, going back to that, if we can give you a chamber, a vessel to float on this earth that can conceal and control and be controlled by you, let's do it. I call it betting that cares. Now we take that 9 foot by 54-inch piece of plastic and lay it over all your decorated bed, your cutie dolls, it don't matter, any of that stuff. And then you cover it with disposable shocks, which are pads that everybody can get or you can make, lay you on it, then put more on you if you want to be a Christmas tree, and then put the other piece. And now we have you in a capsule. And I've stopped again. Hello.
Hold on a sec.
A moment
I was
of
trying to pull up your
interruption by the
website.
fate of the universe.
No, I was trying to pull up your website so as you were talking, people could see the website, see what you were talking about. So clearly
Aha.
that wasn't what was happening. So
Did they
sorry
hear
for
me
that.
through the whole thing or did it stop?
No, no, it kept going.
Oh, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen, my apologies. I'm on
yeah,
my knees right now
your
saying
voice keeps
sorry.
going. This is just
So,
literally the
anyway, everything you think about, every dream you have, has a message that should be communicated through your voice if anybody will listen. So, every once in a while, there's a guy named Justin and a wonderful gentleman named David that creates a microphone for the world. And he calls it voices to voices. Well, hell, that's what a microphone is, right? So, what we're talking about now is how you can take the thing that you don't care about, and sometimes you don't even make up for days at a time. You can admit to this. This is a true story. And it will take and be your shelter from the world of pathogens that's trying to eat you, live on you, because you're the steak dinner and they don't have to go to a fine restaurant. Here you are. And when you're not there, they can just comfortably wait in this wonderful thing you call bed for you to drop in and go to sleep so they can crawl all over your body and find ways to go in, out, join with friends, have a party, or just dig all the way into your kidney and say, I'm into kidney, while the other one's into pancreas, or somebody likes, one of them likes insulin, or whatever. We know they're there, but we just don't acknowledge it. What it does to a bedridden person is it doesn't give them the business ability to leave. They're there 24/7 and they are there as a steak waiting to be eaten. And all they can do is go, I'm thirsty. I need to go to the bathroom. Uh, what's happening out there? Could you open my window? That's their life. So, how do we address that life that could be our life? Just like Superman went from flying off the tallest building into a wheelchair with nothing but a spoon in his mouth before he died. It happens, and it could happen to any one of us. So, let's talk about global knowledge. Sharing global knowledge is what good people do. But if you put a price tag on it, they stop sharing. They just won't do it. I'm not telling you where I get the best bread because the price might go up. I won't tell you where I get a free car wash. No, 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 no. This you can talk about because every time you tell somebody about voice to voice, and with an S, of course, and you talk about betting that cares, you're getting them to join the human race that analyzes what makes us tick, what makes us laugh, what makes us be able to run. And if we don't run, maybe gives us the vision where we can pretend to run, which is one of our assets called daydreaming, where we take a bedridden person and we give them what your eye sees only and puts that view into their brain. So if they're real quiet and you don't say anything, they're having the experience. They're walking the chihuahua saying, now come on, not here. You can't sniff every bush. Come on. We got a work to do. And you're enjoying giving that little damn dog a hard time. and the dog's saying whatever and tries to hang with you. But if you're bedridden and you've spent 6 weeks with no chihuahua walking the dog on a sidewalk, you go, please, can I walk the dog? Can I have a moment of human life? Can I have the experience that you take for granted? We give that by joining YouTube and giving your camera eye shot to a database so anybody that wants to see what your eyes saw, bicycle riding, skydiving, whatever, ooh, wow, you got some stuff out there. They can be you. And they still are paralyzed in a bed with a G tube and a trach tube, barely breathing. But for that moment that you shared, they're not even caring because they're doing what you do, and you've got muscles and legs, and you can run, and you might have a nice bicycle or a skateboard, and they got it all for free. All they had to do was turn on the eye. Join us. Think about it. Do you do something you'd like to share? Well, we're brand new at this and we're building it. So if you have the ability to build a website, if you have ability to have this infrastructure on YouTube, join us. The price is free and you're going to get to heaven a lot, no, at least more comfortably. I don't want it to be quicker, but comfortable anyway. So now let's move into another topic.
Mhm.
How do we figure out what's wrong with every human being that's sick on earth? We have to create a circuit board, a simple piece of plastic that can house all kinds of little microchips and connect with each other with little solid little lines. And all of a sudden, data comes out and it goes into a thing we call the AI. Okay. How about ChatGPT? How about Grok? Let's not deal with all the copycats that are opening up every kind of AI under a different modality because they're all dealing with tomatoes, soup, salad, hamburgers, sandwiches, and food. So let's just get to the source where everything is made, either Grok or ChatGTP. I'm sorry, that's what I believe. And let's put this plastic that I talked about, that 9 sheet by 54 inches, it is a complete package for circuitry. You can even spray paint a circuit on it and connect it with electrodes, and it'll work with 3 volts. So a little bit of solar energy outside your window can fire up your bed and make you a participant in world health research. Yes, everything your body does. So when that cute girl or that ugly guy interrupts your day and says, drink this, your sensors will tell what happens after you swallow or even when you breathe it and tell every organ in your body whether it changes its solid and normal vibration and tell how it reacts, positive or negative. And this goes into the super grok mind that says, okay, I understand what's happening. Don't drink this milk. Don't drink this water. Gatorade, 2 more glasses, please. Whatever. And now you've become a very vital part of human health. Not guessing, not let me know in 6 days what your body's doing with this pill, but second by second, 24 hours a day, whether you're on a boat waiting for being rescued because it fell off the grid from the tour bus or tour boat, or you're sitting in a hotel that's cost $1,000 a night, you're contributing to the soul of man, the Garden of Eden, the knowledge base that will say, this cell likes this cell doesn't like this. If you happen to have this blood type, it won't work with this. If you happen to have this DNA, it won't work with this. If you're Asian, it'll work with this. If you're from Nigeria, it won't work. And it will know before your loving person says, swallow this and let me know how it works.
Mhm.
So, what we're trying to do here is open a forum of voices You can call me by my name or you can profane my name. It doesn't matter. Just talk to us. Go to our website. Tell us what your challenges are. Tell us what you need to be. And if you're one of 256,000, now that 256 comes back, because if there's 256 places we call our indigenous home, we control what happens there by our voice. So if our voice says, hey, let's all talk about this, let's get on board and be one of the people that help humanity. All we have to do is put a plastic sheet on our bed, cover it with chalks, and keep it clean. And not only will we be healthier, but we'll be able to take a steam bath, a milk bath, a bath in mint, a bath in rosemary, a bath in any kind of herb or some herb that nobody else knows that all of a sudden makes you better than you ever were before. And we share that information with everyone in the world. So whether you're in a little nook of New York City with a window plant that seems to be growing suspicious things, or you're in the jungles of Sulawesi, you can share what has been given to mankind through God and nature. Wow. And by the way, pharmaceuticals are not invited. I'm sorry. They have to pay. We'll make them pay and pay and pay. So, if you want to be part of the voices, the breath of the human race, it costs you nothing. And the most you'll spend for these two sheets of plastic is $20 American. Now, maybe you can find an old package crate with some plastic and it'll do the same thing. But try to get plastic that has no seams and no junctures so it's one clear piece. So we don't have any nooks and crannies for your neighboring friends to live on and wait for you to come back to bed. We want to keep it clean. And then we want to give one recipe for every human being. We're going to take two things that God has given us free. One, the salt of the earth, and two, the vinegar that makes kimchi and wine into salad dressing. Sorry about that. And anything else so that we use apple cider vinegar by choice and uh, we make our own brine. What is brine? Well, you take even the cheapest Morton salt that has more plastic in it than your car and pour it in a glass of warm water and keep stirring it. And sooner or later, it'll disappear. And you'll put more salt in, and sooner or later, it'll disappear. And when it gets to the point where it doesn't disappear anymore, you've reached the perfect 23% salt, the most water can absorb. It's called brine. And for centuries, brine has been used to keep something from spoiling, a preservative. So vinegar is a preservative, brime's a preservative, and they're brother and sister. They like each other. So take 4 fingers of apple cider vinegar in a container and 4 fingers of brine and pour it in the top, making sure not to put that salt particles in there. Put it in a little spray bottle, and now you can spray your body instead of taking a shower, and it will be cleaner. Why? Because it kills all the bacteria and it takes the dead skin off your body and creates a fully functional protective seal that God gave you in your skin. That's why the Aborigines can walk around the jungle naked and not get a bunch of flea bites. Well, if we did it, we'd be eaten in less than 20 minutes with all kinds of bumps all over us. Yet this guy comes up in nothing but a loincloth and say, back to the jungle, let's go. And you go, it's gonna hurt. But if you spray yourself with this simple spray, and 3 ounces can do your whole body, including your genital, and no more odor. You won't be the fart in the room. You won't have BO. You won't have anything. Matter of fact, you can smell your skin, and it won't smell like salt, and it won't smell like vinegar. It'll smell, maybe I could date her later, kind of thing. Something you really would like. So this is done for nothing, money, free, almost. $3 worth of anything gives you all you need for a lifetime, it seems. But this way, anytime you have sweated, by the way, God gives sweat with salt in it to add to your protection,
Mm,
you will accentuate and support God's gift to keeping you totally okay with your own armor system, your own system of everything. And by the way, throw that Dove out of the page. Get rid of the shampoos. They're all evil because they only gave it to you because you parted with money. And out of the $3 you paid or the $20 they paid, they made at least $9 on the big bottle and $1.50 on the small. And they say, thank you. How's my Maybach doing?
mm.
It's coming out of the garage because they just sold 100,000 bottles of a liquid that they say is good for you that doesn't do a damn thing but keep all your armor off your body. So don't do a soap and water bath, please, except for fun. Go ahead. And then go back with the vinegar and salt and get armored up again. If you do that all over the world, whether you sleep with the dog, cat, or on the park bench waiting for the cop to tell you to move along, you're going to be clean. You're going to be protected. God's going to protect you with the things He gave you to protect you: salt, vinegar, and the body oils that your body is constantly putting on the skin to protect you from the eaters that want to eat you. That's why a cow's hide is thick, so it doesn't get eaten so easily. But if you don't happen to have a cow's hide, I suggest my formula. It's going to protect you a lot better, especially if you're sleeping in the subway or wherever. So your voice, no matter where it comes from, it still comes from a heart that's beating and a human that's alive. Share it. Tell them what I'm telling you and give me all the questions and challenges you want. Except don't call me or my mother any names, please. Let's stop there. But if it's a question about health and keeping you safe, challenge me because I started in 2003, became real in 2004, and spent my whole life, 24 hours a day, ask my wife, working about how to take care of a bedridden person better. And here it is, 2026, and I have it so simple that anybody on earth can have a bedding that cares. And I won't sell a thing. I will just tell you how to do it. And you will tell me that this grass that your cow lives under is good for this or good for that. And I'll add it to the database. So someday we'll get the word that Elon Musk wants to talk to me and you, and we will get millions of dollars to get those little sensors that monitor every vibration of every unique organ in our body so we can have health that's as simple as Googling it anywhere in the
Absolutely.
world. So I think I've not said enough, but I'm going to stop anyway.
No, no, you're good. And I just wanted to mention to our viewers, our listeners, beddingthatcares.org is where you're gonna find this information to give a comment. But you can also go to
Which is
voicesforvoices.org.
the better place.
Is you scroll all the way down, we where we kind of have it's like the old comment card at restaurants to, how are we doing, something you like to see or hear, feedback, and what is gonna be coming here shortly, probably shortly after this episode airs, is Voices for Voices. We're going to adopt Bedding That Cares, and we are going to collaborate on every avenue that we can possibly do. And it's all about helping others. That's as Rich was saying, it's all about helping others. He's talking about helping every single human on the planet. And I'm talking about helping 3 billion. We really want to do it. And we're two people, and David couldn't make it at this time. But with his stories, his books, his folklore, uh, he is trying to have stories come to life in the reader's mind, and through all of that, we are going to help so many people. And with bringing Rich and his organization, he's going to retain, kind of, the ownership and everything. It's just going to be more from we're going to be able to put, do different social media posts. We'll be able to gather questions and comments and to get started, and we're going to continue to add so that as Rich mentioned, we're able to feed this information into Chat GPT, so we were able to have that information there as well as Grok, and uh, we are asking, we're reaching out because we are reaching 100 plus countries. We have so much more work to do. But we're asking Elon Musk take a look at beddingthatcares.org, get a hold of Rich, get a hold of myself, and even the current administration, President Trump, uh, Robert F. Kennedy. Uh, we want to help, and we want to change the world for better, and we want to do it by the masses. And what Rich has been explaining is something for the masses. Sometimes inventions come out and we say, okay, everybody needs this, but it might not quite be something. But as Rich mentioned, there's so many people, 600 million that we know of that are bedridden. Um, he can even talk to the oxygen part too, where this material can fully cover the head and not have to worry about the person uh, not stop breathing, at least from that. The oxygen can be put through that system. So, Rich, we talk about hospitals and uh, we talk about the prescription manufacturers and these huge organizations. I mean, these large buildings don't get bill for free. So they are making, as you mentioned, with the body wash and that, they're making money for the big buildings, for the big bonuses. And what we're really talking about is something so basic that is very inexpensive. And so if you're a nurse or anybody in the medical, even uh, medical part sales, why should why should they integrate bedding that cares into their hospital, their surgery center, their um, their doctor's office, instead of what they've been doing?
Money, 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 money. You don't want to cut out the deal with uh the laundry service with the hospital, the deal with the government that if COVID comes out, all the elected surgeries won't happen. So the hospital says, we won't survive. So the government says, okay, every time you put COVID on a diagnosis, we will give you 13,000 or so. If they die of COVID because you said they died of COVID, we'll give you 68,000. All of a sudden, the hospitals say, we're closed except for COVID patients because the check is in the mail. It's happening. And why would you put something up that isolates the patient when if you share with all the patients, you get money from the kickback. And also, every time a patient gets sick, you get money from the prescription, and you get money for the extended stay, and you get money for this, and you get money. There's more money in a sick person than a well person. Ask them. They say you have to have a pass to visit the hospital, but you can be in 24 hours a day if you're sick. Well, let's come on in. We want you. It's so simple when you think about it. But what we want to do this is this. There's 256 communities. I will give away all I own, one share at a time. So at the end, 256,000 shares of what I have when companies, that's not a much. If you participate and you become a voice of knowledge, I'll give you a share in my company free. And every time it's worked, and if we're bought out by Elon Musk for millions of dollars, the check is coming your way because you have to be paid because you'll have a document certified that you are one share owner in this. And I will set it up as 256,000. That gives me enough to put at least 10 or 20 people in each community saying, stop doing that. Put them on plastic. Start using disposable. Isolate them. Create a vessel. Use salt and vinegar. Do this and do that. And maybe you won't get paid for it on this earth. But I guarantee you, when you see the suffering change, it's worth something. It's a feeling. And there's one more person that I haven't talked about. The girl, the man that wants to be as handsome or as beautiful as possible. Well, if you want to have a night of bliss, say, honey, come to my bedding that cares, and I'm going to give you a milk bath that you sleep in by yourself. I'm not trying to intrude. All night with the best cream. Underneath it will be a heating blanket that'll keep the temperature perfect. And all night your body will be filled or surrounded by the same thing that made Cleopatra walk the streets of Rome. You will have your milk bath. And at the end, within 5 minutes, it all goes into a Ziploc bag at the bottom of the bed, thrown away, no harm, no foul, and you don't even have to kiss him goodbye.
Yeah.
But you will be a legend in your own little group where go see Michael. He'll give you a milk bath. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, there's opportunity here. But anyway, that's the healthy side of it. I'm focused on the bedridden. So
Yeah.
please, we are in the embryo stage. So our arms are moving and they're not moving too well. And our Facebook is not so great. And my website is not so great. Fix it. Help me. Jump
Yeah.
in and say, I'm going to put this. And I'm going to experiment today that anybody anywhere in the world can type in the name Rich Cordero or Betting That Cares, and ChatGTP will tell you directly what I'm working on in your own computer, on your own phone. You don't even have to go to my website because I'm creating history in medical. And that ChatGTP thinks I'm something special. So with that voice, and I click, I even though my wife is not jealous, I like this woman talking to me. I don't want a guy going, well, turn the page, buddy. I want, hello, thank you, do this. Well, I deal with that voice, and you can pick your own voice, but go
Mhm.
in and use that to answer any questions. And if they don't know the answer, it'll send me a note and say, how do you fix this? And I'll go, well, you do this, this, and then it'll put it in perfect English, Spanish, German, or any language and tell you back. Because we can use that AI free.
Mhm.
So use it because we're in the age, because it won't be long before it'll be by ownership. You have to become 19.95 a month or whatever.
Mhm.
So let's take advantage of this, boys and girls, and let's jump on this. And every one of you have the ability to build a squad of people that know how to use Betting That Cares. and open up a care industry where people in wheelchairs can take care of big, healthy people that are sick in bed. Because my system makes it so easy to care for a bedridden person that even if you're an eighth grader or an 8 year old in a wheelchair, you can take care of fat old grandfather and make him happy and do it discreetly and privately so that you're not exposed to anything you shouldn't see at your age. But anyway, it can be done. And he will thank you. And then if we get built by your help, daydreaming, you too can skydive. Even though you're not supposed to, it's supposed to be only for the bedridden. But you too can do it because all you have to do is click on the tape and see it on goggles, TV, or a little monitor on your Samsung phone.
Wow.
And let's
That's
do
what, yeah, let's do it. Let's make history. Let's do this. Each person that's watching, listening, again, that's why the sharing of this show especially is so important because this is worldwide. This is a human to a human, and knowing what I know from having my father passed a couple of years ago, and I completely understand when how what Rich is talking about of turning somebody who is not doing well at the end stages and say, oh well, we need to turn them and or her, and here I am and my mom, my sister, and if we would have had this technology, we would have been able to better support my dad at those times and uh, be able to start the emotional the additional emotional grieving that prior to his passing, because we spent so much time trying to move him, and it couldn't have felt good for him for as much as he could have felt towards the end. And so I can not just imagine. I I have an actual example myself that if I would have known Rich, that would have we would have been able to help out. And it's not that my dad was a super bodybuilder, but he was big enough that we're trying to do things, and uh, we talk about uh, the staff shortages and nursing, and that all played a part, which is why us, the family, had to help out. Anyways, all that to say that this technology is easy, and it should sound easy, should sound basic. And this isn't one of these gotcha products. This is a product that actually works, and Rich backs up everything 100% that he does. And that's one of the big reasons why we want to help out as much as we can, get the message out, and have him on frequently on our show, so we can continue to update and continue to reach more and more and more people. And it's really remarkable. I When I first heard Rich talking about this technology and this product, I literally had goosebumps because it was like, oh my gosh, it's so true. It could help so many for so many reasons. Somebody wants to go to the spa, and they can have the oil or lotion that's used. They could have that spreading to the whole body, and then they could do, their thing. And it really just makes a lot of sense. And yeah, so I'm gonna throw it back to Rich to kind of
my
close us
my
out here last 10 minutes.
Okay, well, I'll give you a thing that you can experiment with, and it's no charge because nothing I do charges. I guarantee double your money back because it doesn't cost you anything. It's your problem. I'm just telling you how to do it. I have married a beautiful woman that I've been married to for 22 years, and I asked her to marry me 4 hours after I met her. So call me impatient and impetuous, but it's been the best decision of my life. But her father was 92 years old, and I was working on my lab late one night, and I asked him, I said, how would you like to be my guinea pig? He says, okay, what? At 92 years old, stuffed in a little corner of the house in one of the small bedrooms that he quietly shared with every box of storage you could find that they needed storage space for. That's real life. And in his little twin bed, I said, okay, let me get the daughters. You have five, six daughters. Let them get it together. And we're going to get some non-menthol shaving cream. Not the kind that feels good, non-menthol. And we bought a bunch of them. And they took all his clothes off in my bedding that cares, and they put the pads down and they started coating his whole body from his ears all the way down to his toes till that he looked like some sort of pastry that's covered by icing. You couldn't see his hands, you couldn't see anything. And then we put the top on, and then I took a simple $30 steamer that you do for drapery, and I put it at the bottom. I took my temperature gauge and I got the steam going into these two plastic areas that create a pipe. And I got down to about 92, and he says I prefer 94. So I worked it out so the air mixed a little bit. So I got 94, and 94-degree steam came in through his feet all the way and started pouring out around his towel that was by his head. And I said, let me know. So I had 120 minutes of steam because that's how long before they ran out of water. So I let him go through this and would check with him every month. Hey, Joe, how are you doing? I like it. Okay, fine. Everything okay? Fine, I fine. And then he had people come and visit him, and they're all saying, Joe, what are you doing? I'm taking a bath. You're in this little tiny hospital bed. How are you doing this? Well, my son-in-law's got this thing. So all of a sudden, I run out of steam. And he says, Rich, fill it up. So I take it, I go into the bathroom, I fill it up, I cork it up, I put it back. He's got another 120 minutes. So I go around doing something else, da da da, ba ba ba. And I hear, Rich, fill it up. I go, Joe, I have a life, but okay, Joe, okay. So I fill it up, and he's got another hour and 20 minutes. And then at the end of that, I've got all the sisters ready because I'm out of here. I'm done. It's been 4 hours. I'm done. It was just a thought I had. And he says, one more time. So we do it one more time. And finally, I said, Joe, please don't make me rot in hell, but I'm leaving. I'm taking my equipment. You're going back to what you were doing. And they took all this beautiful cream off his body, and his skin was gorgeous. Gorgeous. It was like, ooh, ah moment. Here's a 92-year-old supposed to have wrinkled skin and everything. No wrinkles, plush as a newborn baby, beautiful texture and everything because shaving cream is pure oil. It has no soap in it. And he had this incredible thing done. And I put everything away, no mess, nothing, puts it in the Ziploc bag, the bag and everything. The trash is all sealed and done. He's back to what he was doing in less than 10 minutes. And I put it in the car and I said, it works. It works. We did it. We gave a steam bath in a twin bed. So I said, ha ha, one more thing this thing can do. And every time I saw Joe until the day he passed, he says, Rich, can we do it again? And as I rot in hell, I was too busy. But that is between me and my God. But I was really on the cusp of taking this globally, and I was so empowered that life didn't matter to me. All I cared about I could change this because one of the things that happened to me was when my mother was condemned in a convalescent home. 20 years later, she told me how she hated a man taking her to the shower, stripping her, and shampooing her, and she didn't know him. And
Mm,
she says, all I want to do is die. And I said, Mom, you're in a convalescent home. I can't take care of you. So she planned, even though she had Alzheimer's, to die on my birthday, December 21st. So when I woke up and my wife says, Happy birthday, I get a call from my sister. And my sister says, She waited for you, but she wanted you to know something. So she actually passed away in the morning of your birthday.
mhm.
If you want me to be dedicated, I'm dedicated. You want me to give you anything I've got? You've got it. Ladies and gentlemen, people of any age, start helping mankind. Let's divorce ourselves from this for profit and believe in the prophet. Let's worship the prophet. Let's not just give it to somebody that's got a big old house and a Mercedes Benz that he finally got $82,000 so he could pay for it cash. Let's take care of ourselves to the point where they say, Hey, could we monitor you? We'll pay you. And you say, How much? And whether you're in Ukraine or in Palestine, you can get paid for just being you
Mm.
because you're helping mankind. But to do that, we're going to need 256,000 people knocking on Elon Musk's door and saying, Hey, help us. You'll make a lot more money. He'll go, Okay. And politicians will get more votes and everybody will get stronger, but we will get the health and care that God gave us. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't eat much. It doesn't take much to keep me alive, but please help me have the dream that Florence Nightingale and everybody else tried to have, but they didn't have AI and they didn't have the abilities we have in 2026. So now we can have the health knowledge that has never happened before on earth, and it'll be free for you to use. Good afternoon,
Wow.
ladies and gentlemen. I love you all, and you're all in God's house, and we all are wicked, but we try. And when I use the word sin, it just means the moment I'm without God, I'm sinning. The moment He's in my heart and I'm working for Him, I'm not.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
Thank you so much, Rich. Viewers, listeners, 256,000. Again, we need like an army of individuals. We need people. Rich talked about his 90 plus old uh, father-in-law, and it's a story like that where you have somebody that may seem hard to please, and when he kept saying, "Fill it up, fill it up, fill it up," I mean, that right there should show that no no matter who you are, even if we have a short uh, inpatient stay for a procedure for a surgery, uh, whether we're 24, as he mentioned, 8 years old, in a wheelchair, we're talking about everybody, and that is that's something that is very rarely said nowadays. There's all these rifts, there's all these things to divide people. And what Voices for Voices is, and now betting that cares, is we're about the human being. Like I don't care what political side anybody's on. We're about helping a human being. If a human being needs help, we're gonna try our darndest if we have the ability to help. That's what we're gonna do. And that's what we've been doing from the inception. That's why viewers and listeners, demanding. shows that we're as close to 500 total shows in our portfolio. And this is, I, take it to the bank, going to be one of our most popular shows because it is going to reach far, far, far and wide. And that's exactly what we want. But we also need your help. We need, again, questions. Uh, if you want to be a part of uh, taking this technology to your community, uh, doesn't matter if somebody's living in a mansion as Mercedes, or if somebody's living, I believe Rich mentioned, off if they're laying on banana leaves or laying on a bench, that this can be applied to everybody on Earth. And
Justin,
go ahead and close us out.
my phone number, anywhere in the world you can call me on WhatsApp, is area code 626-771-7358. My email is E for efficient, C for comfort, I for isolation, the word unit, UNIT, the number one at gmail.com. Kick me, love me, tell me good things, tell me bad things, but let's contact me. Let me try to answer all the calls and everything else personally, 24 hours a day. Drive me insane, but let's get this going because I am yours. Everyone that hears my voice through this podcast, I'm your servant. I'm here to solve any question of how to move the patient if the person has this problem. And I've got five sisters and a doctor and a medical university teacher that are all going to get bothered by me by saying, I got this person that needs this. What do we do? And they
Mhm.
won't say, I can't tell you because it's medical secrecy. They'll tell me because I'm flesh and blood. And then I will tell you unofficially. And then we can get this information out. So work with me, use me, wear
Yes.
me out. And if it gets too bad, remember, don't forget to apply for that one share of this major global conversation. And the price tag is just you posting your name, your address, your phone number on that, and where we can email you a certificate that is absolute real to you so you can put it in your computer and you have one share. So if I pass away at 79 or 80 or hopefully 123, I'm looking for that, you own one share. And if Elon Musk buys us out for $250 billion, you own one share of me because I want to leave this earth like everybody else in spirit only.
Mm.
You can have everything else.
Wow.
That's my gift.
Uh, Everybody, this is eh, it's a once in a lifetime, not just with the shares, because we do want we do want you to get a share, and then maybe somebody else in your family hears it, you talking about it, and they're like, wait, what? And then you can, again, word of mouth is so helpful. Uh, Even making a social media post about uh, the technology, how, like, how do I get this? What do I have to do? And we will, as Rich said, get back to every single one of you. We don't want to drive them to the point of insanity. I know it's a little tongue in
Yeah, go
cheek.
ahead. It's okay. I'm
Yeah.
very close.
Uh, And this, ladies and gentlemen, this is like one of the most transparent people you're ever gonna meet, and it's so true and tested. Uh, and we just want to help people, and we know down deep down we all want to help people, whether it's ourselves or somebody we love, uh, or maybe it's in an accident. Like maybe we get in a car accident and we unknowingly know that something may happen. We want the best, the cleanest, the the least amount of it's going to kill the germs. It's going to do all these things and be so helpful. So please, please, this is amazing work. I'm just astonished that Elon hasn't turned a message yet, and where there's Elon, there's somebody who wants to help and help the world and save the world and do as much as he can, and it'd be great again also to have our government not only here in the United States but across the world make this a standard because. Oh, and you have a patent too. You want to talk real quick about
Yes, I do.
the patent just to,
Yeah, I have a patent on it, which means they have to kill me. But
yeah.
the main thing is there's a voice, and we all try to have an important voice, even if it's saying it's my turn in the bathroom. Will you get out?
Mhm.
We want to be important. Well, this is something that they can't own us. They can't legislate that we shut up. This is something that we have the power to share what healed our brother, what helped our sister. This plant grows in our yard, and for some reason, it helps us. Share these things, post these things. Let us test them on the microscope of human exposure. And if it works, all of a sudden you've got a farm that's going to make you a lot of money. So go into every aspect of your indigenous location. And whether it's a dandelion or it's a benihong weed or something we've never even heard of in a language we can't even pronounce without you telling us how, if it heals the human body, let's put it to work anywhere on earth. Let us give us the advantage of saying, you're in New Jersey. You can't buy this in the store, but here's where you get it.
Yeah.
And if it enriches you, fine, because you should be enriched when you help mankind. I don't happen to need it right now, but I'll tell you my real reason for doing all this. I want to be special in life. I want to face God standing tall. I want to be worthy of his gaze. I want to be. I've been just me. And if we can together, and I can be part in responsible of us being a voice for each other, Jesus said no less. Heal the sick. I'm starting there. Again, 626-771-7358. Put a +1 if you're in WhatsApp. If it's a new kind of thing, give me a tutorial how to do it. And my email all over the world is ECI unit one, the number one, at gmail.com. Blow up my box. Make me have to go to second server. Fine, I'll do it. And meanwhile, I will start getting these certificates of one share with your name on it, dated as legal contract to you. So you can put it anywhere you want to be the voice that spread it to another human being to the point where everybody says, oh, yeah, I've heard of that already. I do that already. Just like brushing your teeth. Okay. God bless again. And at 11:12 my time, California time, sitting in the parking lot of a church where I go to, God bless everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you, Rich. And thank you, all our viewers and listeners. Take Rich up on his offer, blow up his inbox, reach out for for comments. If you missed that part, as you know, once our shows go live, they're 24/7, 365. So you're going to be able to find this particular show. We're going to be promoting it as we do all our shows. And I just want to thank Rich Cordero, beddingthatcares.org, for being a voice for so many people. And check out all our other episodes. And if you are able to, since we are a 501(c)(3), if you're able to go to lovevoices.org, lovevoices.org, lovevoices.org. If you're here in the United States, every dollar that you donate, uh, whether it is nominal or whether it is through the purchase of one of our books that either I authored or that David Solomon, his wife Amanda, his son Ryan, all those monies are 100% tax deductible. If you are living outside the United States, just check with your tax preparer how that's done in your country. But we are a charity and we're growing and we are always open for help as well to make our website even more modern, to help us integrate bedding that cares um, into our website. And just there's things that I'm not a technical person, that I know there's probably somebody or somebodies that are able to help, and we would love to have your help. So thank you very much, and we'll see you on the next episode.
One more thing. If you have something that is not money, you can take a picture of it. You could put it on Shopify. You could put it on eBay. You
Oh,
could put it on Craigslist and just tell them that the proceeds, whatever percentage you want, will go to Voices to Voices. You don't have to do anything but take something that's on a shelf and turn it into power.
absolutely. Thank you so much, Rich. And we'll see all our viewers and listeners. Again, thumbs up, like, follow, subscribe, share, repost. Let everybody know. Share far and wide, and then share even farther and wider. We'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.
Talk to you soon. Bye.